Hey guys, Catherine here at the Paleo Schmaleo Food Company, and I actually want to discuss something extremely serious with you today. I want to talk about getting your mind right. And if you don't get your mind right, you're not going to succeed. And whatever it is you're doing, this is diet aside, this applies to every portion of your life. If you have a positive attitude, you are more likely to complete your goal or challenge if you have a positive attitude. And this is not just me saying this and believing this, which I do. This is scientifically proven. And if you don't believe me, I want you to read a book called Mind Over Medicine by Lissa Rankin. She spells it Lissa-Rankin. Lissa Rankin. She's a medical doctor who's been studying the placebo effect. You can buy the book or you can go onto Audibles. You can download the Audible. It's an excellent book. I highly recommend it. Another book that I would like for you to read is 25 Laws of the Impossible by Patrick Bet-David, Bet-David. Patrick Bet-David is an amazing YouTuber. He does valuetainment on YouTube. He writes books, and 25 Laws of the Impossible will also help you understand what I'm trying to talk about today, and is getting your mind right. If your mind isn't right and you believe that you can do it, you could. And if you believe you can't do it, you won't. And this is something that we've known really our whole lives, but we're not practicing. We know that our mind is the most powerful organ in our body, and we know it impacts our decisions and our life. And if your mind isn't right, you make the wrong decisions. I mean, really, you have many examples of your life where you've made the wrong decision because you were not clear about what you wanted, clear in your emotions, clear about how you felt. So you make the wrong decisions. And then later in hindsight, you're able to look at that and say, what went wrong here? Oh, well, I was emotional that day. Or, so-and-so passed away. So you made decisions based on things that were happening. So this is also, on the positive perspective, let's say you have a positive attitude about everything. You are literally more likely to succeed if you have the positive attitude about it, whatever it may be. So is your mind right? Do you have your mind right about your goals? Are you telling yourself that you can't do it? Are you trying to diet and you're not succeeding? Maybe it's because you're telling yourself you're not going to succeed. So I wanted to tell you about getting your mind right and suggest those two books for you. I highly recommend them. If you don't really have the money, that's okay. Go on YouTube, look up Lissa Rankin, and she has, I believe, 3 or 4 TED Talks out there about the placebo effect, because she studies the placebo effect. She studies how people can convince themselves that they are sick, and they can convince themselves that they're healing and they're better. This is all science. This is not even, an idea. This is science. This is measurable. Okay. So people are put into these studies, and the placebo tends to create an outcome. So try it on yourself, or maybe catch that thought when it comes in. Did you just talk yourself out of doing something you wanted to do? Maybe catch that. Try to figure out where that comes from. When you want to go do something and you've talked yourself out of it, what caused you to talk yourself out of it? What did you say to yourself where you talked yourself out of it? If you're on an extreme diet and you know you have to be really strict, did you convince yourself that one decision, that one bad habit wasn't going to matter? I've been there. I get it. This is what I'm talking about. This is getting your mind right. You think you can't do it. You secretly think that you can't do it, but you can. And it's proven that if one person believes in you, you're more likely to think you can do it. The more likely you are to think that you can do it, the more likely you are to actually do it. So I want to talk to you about getting your mind right. Go ahead, listen to a TED Talk by Lissa Rankin. She also writes this book called Mind Over Medicine, which is an excellent excellent read. I went and downloaded the Audible and I listened to it in the car, and I've listened to it multiple times because you have to listen to it a few times to really interpret what she's saying, because again, it's really hard to tell your mind to stop being on autopilot, to stop the bad habits of thinking that you've had your whole life. So I really want you to focus on how your thought process has influenced, your health and your diet and the decisions you make every day. So get your mind right, get in the right positive attitude. You can actually make yourself sick or better with your attitude. I honestly believe this. So I believe in you because I did it. You can do it. Okay? Listen to Rankin, Mind Over Medicine. Go watch her TED Talks. Patrick Bet-David, 25 Laws of the Impossible. Patrick Bet-David has a free YouTube channel called Valuetainment. Look it up. It's great. I highly recommend it. And I know you can do this. Okay?